race, and all of a sudden, the motor went. Bang. And I stuck my hand up in the air, my hand up in the air, to warn the guys behind me, Jim Herbies and Ralph Lagori, who were having a private battle, and being on kind of a round racetrack, the only straightaway was the home chute. And they warned them I was in trouble on the back chute, and they didn't see me until it was too late. They couldn't stop, and they drove through my fuel tank. I was the first one to prove that a fuel bladder could get broken. And my head hit the roll bar, knocked me out, I went to sleep. The three of us in a great big ball of fire, as it shows on the back of the book, went into a freshly graded infield where the flames almost went out. Two other guys bailed out of their cars and ran away, left me sitting there while the flames intensified. Joe Leonard, who was leading the race in an Indy car, pulled in the infield. He had a fire suit on, a good one of the few that did. And he came over to my aid and tried to get me out because the car was so badly bent. He got me unhooked and everything, but couldn't get me out. Two guys in jeans and t-shirts, and I tried to help. And it got too warm and they had to leave. And by the time a Jeep finally showed up with fire bottles in it, I'd been in the fire for 3 minutes. And, excuse me, taking me out of the race car, it was a good lunch. Taking me out of the race car, they were so slippery, they lost me, and I ended up in a freshly graded dirt, not too great for burns. 60% burnt, 40% third degree. My left arm up in the chest cavity, both legs from the groin down to my ankles, and that was kind of a mess. And the first week I was there in that Lower Bucks County Hospital in Philadelphia, I found out that they had no doctor to treat a badly burned person, no facilities to treat a badly burned person. I had to get off the wheelchair into the tub by myself. And then they pulled my glove off, a golfing glove, which had shrunk on my hand like tinfoil on a baked potato. And when they pulled off my left-hand glove, all the skin came off with it. Oh, that's so nice. And then they took the glove off the right hand, and some of the skin came with it, but not too much. Anyway, because they had no facilities to take care of a badly burned person, a lot of guys from USAC got in touch with various people, and I was able then to go to the burn hospital in San Antonio, Texas, Brooks Burn Hospital, San Antonio, where Jim Herbies had been the year before me. Bobby Marshman was there too, but he didn't make it out from a crash at Phoenix practicing. And so, wrapped up like a mummy now from Lower Bucks County Hospital in Philadelphia, wrapped up with fluorescent bandages all the way down from my face stuck out, my fingers stuck out, I don't know why. They were cooked too. Got to the hospital there, they took me right to the physical therapy department, where they submerged me into a big stainless steel tank, 90-degree water. Boy, I soaked for an hour. Oh, this is not bad at all. But then they started snipping those bandages loose, and I thought, you know how bandages stick like cement to most burns or accident problems? After soaking for an hour, those bandages slid right off. Fantastic, this is not going to be too bad at all. But then they started with straight-edge razors and shaved my body fur, scabs, and blisters off. Not too nice. Oh, goodness, what a great introduction to the burn hospital. After they had me cleaned off, they thought, took me back to the first week I was there. They kept me in isolation to make sure I didn't bring any strange bugs along with me. And I got 2 shots. In Philadelphia, I got 3 to 5 pain shots a day. When I got to San Antonio, I got 2 shots the first week. And when I got into the burn ward afterwards, I got aspirin. No pain shots. Oh, goodness, how am I supposed to get along with this? You and the Lord will have to get along with it. We don't give any painkillers because everybody in public hospitals gets addicted to it. We don't want any of that problems. Okay. Yeah, sounded good then. Every other day we'd go back to the tank for soaking, lifting with tweezers and snipping with scissors, debridement they called it. And they weren't getting along too good. I spread over my body what they called sulfur. Actually, it's sulfur myelin is what they call it. It's a body that's supposed to promote the growth of a certain bacteria that eats between the bad and good flesh. Must have been too healthy, nothing grew. And so to surgery. Surgery was 12 doctors standing around your bed, and they estimate how long you're going to be there. And they said, you're going to be here 9 months. And I found out they never missed more than a week or so. You're going to be here 9 months plus. And so to surgery, just to debride me and so forth. And then my wife got a phone call. Your husband's been seriously injured. We'd only been married just a few months, and a year and a couple months. And when she walked in, of course, no wife likes to see a husband in that condition, and she was able to fly with me to San Antonio, Texas, stayed in the barracks a mile away, and walked back and forth 3 times a day to feed me and take care of her first baby, me. I don't think he can, but nevertheless, she says, what have you got to lose? Try him. And so with her help, I turned what was left of my life over to the Lord Jesus, asking him to do what he wanted to do with my life, not what I wanted him to do with it. My body cleaned up and started to heal. You can't imagine how the clouds on the way, the sun came out, my body cleaned up, and in a couple of weeks, you know, I walked out of that hospital in 3 months, not 9 months. Wow, what a miracle. Back in a race car in 7 months. How do you steer a race car with no fingers? And so we came up with that method. As Jack mentioned, it's in the book there, a picture of it and so forth. It's similar to a spinner on a steering wheel before power steering, like farm tractors have one and so forth, to turn quick. And so that's what we came up with. We put a pin on the steering wheel, a T-pin, held on with 2 hose clamps. We had a winter work glove. We cut the thumbs and fingers off. I should have brought one, but I didn't. Sorry. And on the palm of the glove, we attached a socket with a rim welded to it, surplus to it. And then we attached it to a piece of leather which we sewed to the bottom of the glove. And I started out with just a short one. And in Indianapolis 500 in 1966, after we made the race in that first main straightaway crash on the first lap, anyway, somebody got out of shape, somebody else got out of shape, and the end result, I got sideways in front of half the field, and I thought in history, but the Lord swept everybody by. Everybody missed me. But the left hand got jerked off. The glove got jerked off, and my knuckles and skin was with it, so the tech guy there, first aid guy, he put a Band-Aid over it and everything. I put the glove back on quick so nobody else would see it. And we started last. I had to wait and change the left rear tire, hit the wall and flattened it. And so we couldn't work on the car until the green flag dropped. And so as soon as the green flag dropped, we changed tires, got back out on the racetrack. And during the race, we were actually running second to the rookie Graham Hill. And on the last fuel stop, fortunately it plugged the fuel nozzle. If it partially plugged it, it would have burned a cylinder. We plugged the fuel nozzle, and so we ran on 3 cylinders and finished 5th. Wow, fantastic.